Welcome for those of you that are joining us for this part 2. If you missed part 1, please make sure that you go watch it on our YouTube channel, Bahati Hilda Sabiti. You can be able to rewatch it. And we are talking about this particular gentleman that gave in his question and said that I really want to settle down. Genuinely, I want to settle down. I want to fall in love. Like fall in love, the normal kind of falling in love. But what I have right now is I lust over someone, I pursue them, I chase them, and I'm relentless about chasing them. But the moment they give me a chance to sleep with them, that is the last I will ever see of them, because I totally lose interest. And so we found that it's so many people that have been sending these questions, and not only the men but even the women are actually facing the same thing. They're like, you know what, I want to settle down, but I get a good person and I really think maybe this is it, but the moment I sleep with him, I feel like I am disgusted. I feel like I don't want to look at him again. I ghost him, I block him, and I move on swiftly to the next one. And so this person came from an angle of wanting to know, like, what is wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? And I remember one of the statements I told him, which is so true according to what you have said so many times, is you have never found someone that you love. Number one, you were chucked or dumped by someone, and you're looking for that particular person in every woman, and you're not finding them. You're not finding Nachito, you're not finding Jessica, whatever it is, whatever woman it was. Whenever you the stature, the way they do things, you feel like you're looking for the other person. But number two, you have also not found the person that you really, really love. Because when you find the person that you love, the energy that attracts you around them, it just doesn't matter. You still want to look at them. You still want to be with them. You want to text them. You want to still pursue them, because you still want them in your life. But if you are the kind, because there are some men that face the same thing, not because they've been chucked or dumped by a person, but naturally someone tells you, I have never been interested, that much interested. Some of them have even admitted to, I chat with her once or twice, or even for a week, and I lose interest. And I usually tell them, don't force it. It's not like you've slept with her. Don't force it. If you don't lose interest just by chatting with her, that means you actually didn't love her in the first place. So take time and stay away until you find someone because someone that you love will give you sleepless nights. You will pursue. Even when they are running, you will run after them, because your heart has fallen in love with them and you want to be with them.
So our 40-year-old friend, of course, has a problem.
Yes.
And it's called lust. Then number two that he has is the past.
Yes. That he has not dealt with.
Struggling with the past that he doesn't even understand. What he really needs right now is an audit of the past. Because if you're looking for Carol in every woman, you will never, because Carol was a lie and Carol no longer exists. So what you're carrying with you is a lie, okay, that is sparking off nothing else but pain. Pain and pain. Everywhere you go, every girl you've had sex with, you've left a deposit of you in them. And guess what? You've only sent them out there to hurt others because you've hurt them. You pursue them, get them, have sex with them, dump them, and then they will do the same thing. So guess what? You're poisoning a community. Why? Because you are not taking time to take care of you. I would say he needs the help. He has a problem.
Yes,
obviously. But then it brings me to something about the girls, even the guys now, because they're both victims anyway. Why
but the one that is being dumped.
Exactly. Yeah. Why would you say as a girl, make sex the yardstick
of love?
Why? Why do you think
it has never been?
Why do you think that unless I give him sex, he will not stay? Well, some girls have said, I still stay with my things, no one takes them. That's being stupid.
Then how many people are you going to be with? That means you can be with 100 because they are not getting finished.
You get the point. So when you tell me that I mean, to me, did he take away my thing? He just had sex. That's it. I'm like, well, then you're giving us jobs. A session is 100,000, 250,000.
100,000 where?
I'm just giving an example. I'm saying that then you're giving us a lot of money that because then we'll have to, at a certain point, have to help you.
Yes.
This guy, the 40-year-old, is dealing with the past.
Yeah.
And that is not a one-time
Journey.
thing. It will have to take time for him to recover, to heal. So right now, he's not supposed to be in any relationship with anyone. He's not supposed to be pursuing anyone.
With anyone.
And for you as a girl out there, why sleep with a person you met a week, 2 weeks, a month?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you think that it is sex that is going to glue him to me? Who told you? You're going to give your funny examples.
He's 40 years old. If he has had any encounters, he has had like 100 of them. So what tells you that yours is going to be any special or any different or the hooking bit? And by the way, some girls will actually know that this man was with the other girl and with the other girl, and now he has come to you and you think you're the special one because apparently he dumped the other one and used the other one and dumped the other one. So now you think you're the one that has the magic that will stick. I don't know what to call that sometimes. And I don't want to sound insensitive. I remember there is a song that says that if he was not in love, if he was not able to fall in love with you, don't think he can fall in love with me. But sometimes our journeys are telltale signs. For example, if you meet someone and you ask them, how long was your last relationship? And it was weeks or months. Chances are they are not supposed to be in a relationship, or they're not interested in a relationship.
That's true.
And there's someone who will tell you it has been 5 years and there are real reasons as to why they are not able to be with the person that they were with. And you know that, okay, by the time this person was 5 years with the person.
But think about this, Hilda, a 40-year-old. And sometimes I've had these discussions with the girls. And I'm like, 40-year-old? And yes. Does he have any children? No. Has he ever been married? No. Never even divorced? Nothing. As in he's fresh.
I hear fresh. 40-year-old fresh.
40-year-old fresh. Now, it is a lie. It is a lie. A lie to mean if it's 40 years, and everything I have mentioned
is fresh.
There is a problem. If I am a girl, I would know there is a problem.
Non-committal.
And the most obvious one is that they don't want to settle. It is a choice.
Yeah.
If you find someone and he says, I have been divorced, you will know that there's a history.
They committed before.
They've committed before, and probably they're still dealing with a divorce, because some people can stay in that divorce phase for years, where they divorced, but whatever that led them to that is enough to cause them walk on eggshells all the days of their life. They're second guessing themselves on anything to do with commitment because of the past experience. That is different. If someone came to me and said, this guy is pursuing me, but all I know, he has a child and he's been divorced, I'm like, it's worth trying.
He committed
41,
and
42, 43, 45 years.
And you're like, I've never belonged to any woman. I've never married. I've never.
You've time traveled.
You're like Kyle X.
Time traveled. You're from another planet.
You're from another planet, which is impossible. Very impossible.
I would say it's very hard, really, because
there's actually someone.
There must be a problem, and a big one. And don't think that you carry the magic that was going to change that person into becoming kind who can commit. Well, someone will tell you, I've been carried away by work, because every time you work with human beings where you go to work.
Why didn't you
there
commit
should
to
be
anyone?
Something. There should be something.
But there's one who said, a 44-year-old, who said that the reason as to why he didn't marry is because he didn't want his mother to compete for the first position with any other woman in his life.
But there is a problem, of course.
Of course there is a problem.
There's a huge problem.
If
you've been able to live like that
for 44 years,
all your adult life, then what is it that is going to change about me and you in the next 20 years? Because that means we have about 20 years to Kadiwe. You're 45, and soon you'll be 65.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're going to do different in the next 25 years? And let me tell you this. Every that every mistake that you need to make it now while you're in your 20s.
In the 20s, yeah.
Yes. But there's certain conversations that I wouldn't entertain.
At 30, 40.
30 kaliko, but 45. I am 45 years old, Hilda. It's obvious that there must be a history. There must be a history. If there is no history, then who are you? What's up with you? You can't tell me it was your mother all the time. What are you not telling us about you and your mother?
Yeah. Wow, this is quite deep. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, so many people are going through so many frustrations. But the issue of the last that you've talked about, that applies for both sides. Yeah. There are women, like, you're like, but what are you looking for? What kind of itch do you have that can never be scratched enough?
By the way, on the flip,
yeah,
it's absolutely possible that a woman can get into her 40s. She's never been married. She's never had a child. Blah, 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 blah. With women, it's possible.
Like they were too careful?
There are lots that we would discuss under that.
Or they were hurt once and they just abstained from everything. They're like, let me make my money. Some of them these days are even opting for sperm donors. They're like, let me make my money, let me get a sperm donor.
So many women have been told otherwise, mostly especially when it comes to marriage.
Yeah.
I think one of the issues that we're dealing with, the narrative we're trying to change, is the evil that has been created about marriage. So many young girls between their 20s and 30s think marriage is the worst place any person should walk to or get into.
It's like a prison, a maximum prison.
Yeah. Most of them believe all that I need in the so-called is just a child. So some of them have walked in and left the door open.
To get out.
To get out as soon
just in case.
Yes. You get a child, walk out.
Yeah. Still you can tell such a person they are non-committal.
Others have opted for the sperm donor thing that you were talking about. They pay money. Women these days have a lot of money. It pays 5-10 million to get a sperm, and the next thing is history. They don't want to raise a child with
they don't want a headache.
They don't want a headache. They want a burden. So they decide to raise the children on their own. And that is what Miles Munro talks about, saying a fatherless generation.
Yeah.
And the dangers that comes with a fatherless generation. So thing here is, Hilda, at 40 years and you were a man,
there's nothing new to learn.
You're telling me that it was your mother? Oh, why?
There's a problem. So for those of you that have been following this conversation, you realize that we get to advise this gentleman that, find therapy. Abstain from every manner of intercourse. Abstain from any kind of relationship, because you have been flipping relationships after relationships, 20, 30, 100 of them, and you have come to the same dead end. Yeah. So how about you do something different? And because you're doing the same thing. You're like a mad person.
There's something about the lust. When someone is possessed with the lust, let me tell you this. Even women are more drawn to such lustful men. It's like she easily believes
that this is love.
Because whatever that is in operation in you as a man has the ability and the magnet to draw a woman.
To attract
That's what we call lust. So with the way you look, with the way you smile, with the way you carry yourself, with the way you speak, you develop every skill and ability to glue a woman, to attract a woman, to get one. So as a woman, be careful when you easily feel swept off your feet.
Yeah. Ground yourself again. Think again.
Take 2 steps back.
And ask yourself, what is this?
Okay. And
you can't be just obsessed all of a sudden.
And then when you're walking in,
with caution.
With a lot of caution.
And then, I mean, no one should ever make you do anything. It should be your decision, and a decision that you will not regret.
Absolutely.
So look 2 years from now.
Absolutely.
Are you going to regret what you are going to do
Absolutely.
now?
I would emphasize praying.
Yeah. Discernment.
Because
My
prayer
goodness.
does a lot.
Yeah.
I've talked about one of the most important things that you can ever do for yourself as a human being is to develop a relationship with your God.
Yes.
What God does in as far as our life is concerned is huge. Everything that you see happening in the physical began somewhere in the spiritual. And the only way you can be able to see in the spiritual is when you have a relationship with God. That's when God will help you be in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people and having conversations with the right people.
Yeah.
But some of you, in the name of trying to look for a mate or a partner, you've gone to more dangerous places.
You are running.
And you have found yourself in more danger than you would have been in. Some of you, I would rather that you even stay in your house. But once you've developed a relationship with God, it opens your eyes to what matters the most.
He
It
will
helps
warn
you,
you.
guide you
Yeah.
to the place where you're supposed to be. Some of us, okay,
Yeah.
we are careful where you eat,
Yes.
the people you hang out with, okay, the association, the relationship.
Not
the
because we are
influence, the friends.
proud, but
It's
we know those
because
things.
We know, and we have been there, and
Yeah.
we have been there, and we've been there. I usually say if I could be 25 years again, there are certain things that I would have never allowed to happen to me. But that is in the past now. I have something to do between now going forward, and that's what I concentrate on. So I'm careful whom I bring into my inner circle. I'm careful whom I dine with. I'm careful whom I associate with. I'm careful about the influence. What kind of influence do you have over me?
Yeah.
I don't want to get to 60 and I'm having the same
regrets.
regrets I'm having right now about my 20s.
Yeah.
No. So whatever I can avoid right now, I will.
That's living an intentional life.
Exactly.
Not bumping into accidents, making accidents. You become an accident yourself, just like you said. Because then you're knocking people left, right, and center. It's like you're like, campaign, let me, do this. So you're just entering spaces, entering into covenants and soul ties that you will never be able to disentangle from. But why? Because when you're lasting, you're not thinking with your brain. You're thinking with your private part. And it's only asking, where can I enter? And you're also saying, I am here to take you wherever you want to go.
Exactly.
That means you have devoid yourself of the power that God created you. As in, He created you with a brain to think, to process, to slow down when you need to slow down, to pray when you need to pray, to consult when you need to consult. So if you find yourself, and some of these things, by the way, now that you're talking about God, ancestral spirits exist for a reason.
They do.
Bloodlines, the spirits
They
that
do.
are following bloodline.
They do.
You say you have failed at 50 relationships. Just know there's something that is following you that you must be able to break and say, you end with my generation. You do not cross into the next generation. Just figure it out. If it were your son that is telling you that I have slept with 60 women and every woman that I sleep with, I dump. Would you be happy as a father if your son told you that? So that means right now it is time to look back. And if you start tracing, by the way, and mapping your generations, you'll find that there is someone who went through exactly what you went through. There is an uncle, there is a father, there is someone, and then when you know, and now you know exactly where to target.
When I said when you have sex with someone, a deposit of them stays with you and a deposit of you stays with them.
Yeah.
Because it's a covenant, and that's how God created
Even
it.
scientifically, the
Kakati,
DNA.
this is what happens. You find yourself dealing with chronic diseases zota tegera, zota manje ziva. Simply because there's a covenant you got into that you don't understand. Some of you have gotten married. Okay? And every time you conceive, you get a miscarriage. You may not understand right now, but probably what you need is something spiritual.
Yeah.
Redemption.
Yes.
You need deliverance.
Yes.
Why? Because you're carrying that, you carried it from somewhere. You get that point?
From both
so
sides.
when we talk
it could
about
come.
things like purity, be careful
Abstaining,
with sex,
yes.
you understand? It's not just for the sake.
It's not to pass
It's
time.
deeper. It is deeper. I was having a conversation with someone, and I told them it's only human beings that don't even understand how deep it is for you, say, to sleep with your sister or you to sleep with your cousin. I have dogs at home, and it happened to be that one is a cousin to the other. Now, I never knew that once cousins have, because with dogs, there's what they call the mating period. And during the mating period, once a female is ready to mate, for it is just for reproduction. You understand? Now, I never knew that once cousins have sex, the kids never live. They die. I didn't know.
Wow.
Now, if in the animal world, incest is real, if in the animal world, sex is that real, how much more with a human being? We just
have the capacity
we just
to
choose
think.
to be stupid.
I know.
We just choose to be stupid, Hilda. And we just choose to put the most important things, because God gave us the will, the choice. We choose. We can choose. You understand? We have the soul, which is the mind, the emotions, and the will. So we choose. We choose to do what we need to do and face the repercussions. But the thing here is that certain things that are too annoying, that you tell someone, sex is this deep. You're not just having sex with this girl.
It's like eating popcorn.
Those 5 minutes, you've exchanged the future. You've traded your future.
It's possible
you've given something to her, and she's given you something.
And
now,
you
it's
don't
possible
know.
that a chukuteyo from her. You
My
will
God.
have to you will suffer with it for the rest of your life.
My goodness.
Okay?
It's holding your finances. It's holding like everything.
So these
There's
things
some
where,
men who have slept
they
with
say,
women.
where they say, mostly if you've come across those older men, where they tell you, nti waliwo abakazi abalina
Ebisirani, ebipali.
It's not just bisirani. It's just about
The covenants. That are made.
Those covenants are real.
Yeah. And sometimes the women themselves don't know. But their covenants, Baba Wongayo, their covenants were made by their forefathers, their parents, and now all of a sudden you have fallen into it. Because apparently you're thinking with your private part.
Yeah.
So
goodness. if I had an opportunity again, if I was talking to a girl, I would tell her, you're in your 30s. I'm just giving an example. It's not the first time you're having sex. You've had sex. Okay? How about you think twice about sleeping with that guy if you're not sure?
Yeah.
And I know that you're watching and you're
Nothing will ever change. Yeah.
Nothing will change if you can only say no.
Sex will not make them love you more.
If you can only say no. One of the signs, trust me, one of the obvious signs that there is no commitment is when someone is just thinking about one thing and one thing, getting into
How do I
pants.
get into,
Most cases, you see this ring, this is what we do. Remove it.
Yeah. So
Pocket
many
it.
married men.
Pocket it.
So many. And they go looking. And they don't want commitment. So they are not going to dilly-dally around.
You find him and you always good kuchocha. I mean,
I've found myself.
Wow. Hey, he drives a big, huge car. Mama, because every year he's taking me for a trip. To get a Fort Poto, because every year. And next thing you're ghosted. Only next thing you seeing a profile, the guy is married with 10 kids. And Hilda wange kumkono. So
you see what we get ourselves into,
have a bit of sense
to slow down,
help yourself.
Think.
Having sex is not going to change anything.
If someone does not love you, they will not love you.
If they love you,
sex.
they will still love you and they will stay.
Even without the sex.
Yeah. And as I said, in a way we are mentoring our men, we are telling them.
But are they listening?
They are listening. And they're doing well.
They're running away.
We're telling them, please don't. Yeah, don't. Keep your thing in your pant.
That's good.
Zip up. If you need a gundi pant in
that has a
iron
padlock.
underpart, we're telling them don't. We're telling them don't. Don't. Right now, priority is make money.
Yeah.
Make a lot of it. Make a lot of money. Make a lot of money. A woman is a responsibility. If you're not ready for it, don't even entertain it. Make a lot of money. Let money know your name.
Men are going to be so hard in this town.
We want them to be as hard as possible.
I know, but for the longest time, I think a girl child has gotten a lot of advice until we felt like most men are really left behind. And that is when you run with a hashtag that says that no man left behind.
Yeah.
I think for me that was revelational, like it was another level, that every boy child has access to mentorship and to a loving community, a like-minded community of men that are building themselves and growing, and men that will never say with Chirimi nothing good them obogwi. You know, that's like very, very bad for a man to say.
One thing that we do in our mentorship is we tell them take responsibility, and taking responsibility is a sign of maturity. And taking responsibility means I've learned my lessons. I have learned my lessons. I don't want to be this man ever again. So if you were irresponsible and in your irresponsibility you found yourself getting a child from it, don't cast away the innocent child or your responsibility. Take care of your child. But choose never to be that kind of man again. So responsibility here matures us. Responsibility pushes us to a place that we desire to be. That, you know, I wouldn't want to have 10 children with 10 different women.
This kind of setting.
I don't want to. I would want to be remembered for something nice, that, you know, I'm not one who's contributing to a fatherless generation, because that's a topic of its own that we handle. You know, the curse of a fatherless generation. It's something that is so huge that we don't want it anywhere.
Every Thursday.
And so, like, yes, every Thursday we do online meetings every Thursday, and I always from Tim Sabiti, I always share the link. So we want to turn the narrative. There are certain things that we don't want. You know, feminizing a man, where you more like a female. You're want
not
men,
in your authority as a man,
be
in your leadership
man.
as
So,
a man.
A man's place is not to be feminized. A man's place is not to cause more fatherless or to contribute to a fatherless
or
generation.
to hurt women. You're supposed to love them, give them money, shower them with gifts. Love on them. If they are lovable. Okay.
So every Thursday, by the way, every Thursday,
sign up for the mentorship.
Yes, sign up. Actually, it's free. 100% free.
Yeah.
Someone asked me, why are you doing this? I said, I have a daughter called Ariella. I wouldn't want Ariella to meet a monster. I'd want Ariella to meet the right man. So I'm sowing a seed for my own daughter.
To fall in the hands of
the right man. So if you're a man out there and you have daughters and you have sisters,
come join this
do
cause.
the same for your sisters and for your children, for your daughters. Help men. One man changed in a community saves it. Saves the whole village, by the way. One man. And one man can set the whole community on fire.
Yep.
You know how many women Ben can pregnant in a day?
Jesus.
Did I say Ben?
Yes. I know.
Okay, I meant
By
Derek.
the way, they can even worse. Now Coco. That's even worse. But indeed, if you decide to be a monster, you can be a big, juicy monster that will set the fire, and the whole city ablaze. But what we want is to be responsible human beings. We wish you greater, happier marriages, okay? And we wish you better relationships where you make better decisions for yourselves, and then you are walking towards a future where both of you are happy, building each other and nurturing proper relationships and proper families. Okay, if you have any questions, our numbers are on the screen. Make sure that you reach out to us. If you need the free mentorship for the men, make sure that you come through for the free mentorship for the men. For those of you that want to be counselors and coaches and public speakers and you want to build your personal brand, we have a mentorship as well. So get in touch with us on the numbers on your screen so we can give you the details of how you can become a world changer, of how you can be able to change the forthcoming generations. Otherwise, from us to you, we love you.